Hey guys, welcome back to Team Death Slinger. My name is Peter, and today we're going to do another adventure-centric deck profile. We're going to be looking at a control version of the adventure engine. So without further ado, we're starting with 4 copies of the ST20 Koromon. All turns this Digimon with the adventure trait gets 1k DP. I still like this more as our egg. I think the 1k really helps when we are mostly using aces at the top end. It's kind of going to keep us safer on the checks and try to prevent that overflow as much as we can. We're going to go 4 copies of ST21 Palmon on play by trashing a card with the adventure trait in hand, draw 2, and then all turns you get 1k DP. Just helps us find our pieces, keep our hands full, and we have lots of adventure trait cards that we can pitch away, so we're not too worried about this whiffing. We have 3 copies of ST21 Gabumon. Your turn while your opponent has a Digimon with 10k DP or more, or you have tamers with 3 or more total colors. This Digimon can Digivolve into MedievalGallantmon in the hand for a cost of 4, ignoring the requirements. And then when attacking, draw 1, trash 1. That Inheritable is actually really good too for helping us find our pieces. But the Warp threat is really great here with the MedievalGallantmon Ace and some other things that we can set up later. 4 copies of ST20 Biyomon on play reveal top 3. Add a Digimon with the adventure trait and 1 such tamer or option. Great searcher in this deck. We don't have too many targets to bottom deck other than our level 6s and our 1 level 7. So we just want to be careful to do this, hopefully when we don't need to find one of those pieces. If we don't mind bottom decking our level 6s, that's when you want to plop this down. And then it's going to give us your turn. This Digimon gets 2k DP. That's going to be great, again, for our Blast Aces, our level 6s. That's going to make sure that they're safe on the swing. Moving on to level 4s, we're on 4 copies of ST20 Kabuterimon. When Digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer tamers, you may play 1 tamer card with the adventure trait from your hand without paying the cost. I think the Inheritable here is more useful than the other level 4 that plays tamers. The piercing can be really good. If the opponent just leaves something suspended, we just have the opportunity to get some free damage in and clear a body from the board. We have 2 copies of the ST21 Togemon on play when Digivolving. If your tamers with the adventure trait have 3 or more total colors, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon with the adventure trait in the hand without paying the cost. All turns, this Digimon gets 1k DP. Because we are running the MedievalGallantmon Ace, I really like this card, at least as a 2-of, to play. You can Evo into something like Lilymon or MagnaAngemon for free, and perhaps remove a target that the opponent thinks is safe in the moment, because they're not prepared for you to get a free level 5 on the board off of the swing with MedievalGar. So normally I would probably opt for more of the tamer playing effects because we really want those 4 colors, but I think this card works pretty brilliantly as a 2 to 4 of in this deck. And we are going to run 4 copies of the ST20 Gatomon security effect. At the end of battle, you can play this card without paying its cost. That's awesome. And then on play, when Digivolving, give 2 of your opponent's Digimon sec -1 until their turn ends. Again, we did just talk about playing level 4s for free. If we're talking about a control profile, being able to play Gatomon for free and give sec -1 is a really powerful tool. It's a good way to stall out and get control of the board. It also has, when attacking once per turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -2k for the turn. Good way to clear chumps off the board or to get an opponent's body small enough that you can actually swing past them. Moving on to level 5s, we're on 2 copies of the ST21 Lilymon. On play and when Digivolving, suspend all of your opponent's 5k DP or lower Digimon. Then for every 2 colors your tamers have, return 1 of their suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. What makes this card so strong is that, as a commenter pointed out, the second half of that effect does not care about the DP threshold. It just bottom decks an opponent's Digimon that is suspended. So getting this down on the board when the opponent's not expecting it can be really devastating. For a level 5, that's a really strong effect. And your turn, once per turn, when your other Digimon are played or Digivolve, if any of them have the adventure trait, one of your Digimon gains Alliance for the turn, and then one of your Digimon may attack. So a good way to get some swings in, some damage, and then an Alliance Inheritable is going to work really nicely with the rest of our level 6s. We are running 3 copies of the ST20 Angewomon as well. On play when Digivolving, one of your other Digimon may Evo into a Digimon card with the adventure trait in the hand without paying the cost. That's fantastic. And then the same effects as the Lilymon. We are running tamers that let us reduce play cost, so it's not insane to be thinking that we can just play this down. It's also, because of the metal card, we can always be playing level 4s, and then hopefully Evoing into this to get something else to Evo for free. So really great card in this deck. And we are, for the rest of the control package, running 3 copies of the ST21 MagnaAngemon. On play when Digivolving, place one of your opponent's 6k DP or lower Digimon as the top security card. For every 2 colors your tamers have, you add 2k to this Digimon's DP effect maximum. So it's really important that we get our 4 colors down immediately so we can get the 10k DP threshold. Otherwise, this card is kind of lackluster. We want at least 2 colors. Hitting 8k is mostly fine. It just means you're going to put a level 5 in their security. But it's a great piece regardless for disrupting the opponent's plays. Moving on to our level 6s, you can see we have quite a spread. First of all, MedievalGallantmon. Everybody knows what this card does. It's really, really broken, but we are playing bodies with this deck, and it makes it hard to resist playing this card. We can Evo into this on top of the Lilymon, but being able to reduce the play cost of our Digimon and then just hard play them to trigger the MedievalGallantmon is really strong and can be oppressive, so we are going to 1 of it. We have 3 copies of EX6 Cherubimon Ace. This can go on all of our level 5s, that's why we love it so much. And then on play, when Digivolving, you play a green or yellow level 4 or lower Digimon card from your hand without paying the cost. Then, until the end of your opponent's turn, one of their Digimon gets minus 4k for each of your other Digimon. Part of what makes this so gross is, like, we could warp Gabumon into this, swing, we play a level 4, let's say we play the Togemon. Togemon gets to Evo for free. It Evos into something, we don't really care what, but it Evos into a level 5. And then we can ace into the Cherubimon, and we play another level 4, and then we've got, you know, we're 3 wide. This is just really strong with the DP reduction effect, or sorry, the DP minusing effect, and I like it a lot as a top end for this deck. It does also have Alliance, by the way, so you can, like, do some double Alliance shenanigans and get lots of damage in. 2 copies of the Metal Guard that we talked about earlier. On play, when Digivolving, return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon to the bottom of the deck. For every 2 colors your tamers have, add 1 to this effect's level maximum. That's awesome. And then when attacking, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash without paying the cost. That's what we've been talking about with playing level 4s. Metal Guard's going to do it really effectively. I think if you wanted to switch the ratios here, by the way, on Cherubimon Ace and Metal Guard, it would be perfectly reasonable to do so. Cherubimon's a really expensive card, so don't feel obligated to run things that way. We are also going to run 2 copies of the SaberLeomon Ace. On play, when Digivolving, 2 of your opponent's suspended Digimon get minus 8k until the end of the turn. First of all, that effect I feel like is really great. If you go in for your alliance checks with your level 5s, the opponent tries to swing into you, and then you ace into the SaberLeomon, and they get minus 8k, and they probably crash into your SaberLeomon. Fantastic. Then when Digivolving and when attacking, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then if they have no unsuspended Digimon, you get to unsuspend. I like this for the suspend effect. I like that it can evo on all of our level 5s. The suspend effect sets up the Lilymon really well, so it's just kind of a nice 2-of in the deck. We are still going to run the Boltboutamon. Again, with the DNA shenanigans, you can actually DNA the Metal Guard with any of our other level 6s because they meet the color requirements, which means DNAing into Boltboutamon isn't, like, crazy, not going to ever happen. Like, it's totally a possible play. And then, again, it de-digivolves 3 on all of your one of your opponent's Digimon, and all their Digimon get minus 6k. A really effective board clear. It's going to trash the security for your trouble. So you are probably going to get in for, like, 2 or 3 damage, wipe their board, and then trash something. Just sets you up to basically run away with the game. If you do not want to run the MedievalGallantmon, because, again, I understand it's an expensive card. Not everybody has shelled out for it, wants to shell out for it, or even wants to play it at their table. Just go 2 on the Boltboutamon. You'll be perfectly fine. It's technically slightly weaker, but, like, the card is still amazing, and it's going to do plenty of work for you. Moving on to our options, 3 copies of Our Courage United main, draw 2, all turns when one of your level 5 or higher Digimon would leave the battle area, delay, you can play level 5 or lower with the adventure trait from your hand without paying the cost. Actually really fantastic. A lot of Digimon now have the ability to delete things when they swing, so if you lose one of your level 5 Digimon off of that effect, you can then use Our Courage United to do something like, I don't know, playing a Lilymon and then just, like, bottom decking the Digimon that they attack with. That's pretty funny. I think that's a hilarious play, actually. 2 copies of Believe in Our Friendship. It's a memory boost for the adventure trait. The delay effect is really what we care about here, gaining the memory to make our plays happen. 3 copies of Kamiya and Izzy Izumi. We can give everything blocker. All of these adventure tamers, by the way, you can suspend them to reduce the cost of playing a Digimon with the adventure trait. So that's a redundant effect. But the blocker is kind of interesting here because we are going for control. We're playing lots of bodies. I think being able to have all of your adventure trait Digimon gain blocker is really good when we're trying to play lots of those adventure trait level 4s. Something important to keep in mind is that if you blast ace, you are going to lose your blocker status because they are not adventure traits, so keep that in mind. We do also have 2 copies of Davis, Motomiya, and Ken. I think this is really kind of interesting. You don't have to run this card. If you want a memory setter, by the way, you can run Mimi, the one that lets you hatch an egg. You have lots of green level 5 or higher. You have the Lilymon, Cherubimon, SaberLeomon, and the MedievalGallantmon. So it's possible that you can just hatch an extra egg and promote and stuff like that. But Davis and Ken from BT8, if you have a blue Digimon to play gain a memory, if you have a green Digimon to play gain a memory, you're more than likely only going to gain 1 memory off of this. That's okay, though. When one of your Digimon digivolves into a Digimon with 2 or more colors, you may suspend this Digimon to unsuspend that Digimon. And you'll notice that that synergizes really well with all of these alliance inheritables that we have going on here, even the alliance effect on Cherubimon Ace. I mean, when we evo, we get to swing with alliance. That's what all of our level 5s do. So we can give alliance, swing, we get in our 2 checks. It's probably pretty safe, to be honest with you. We're probably going to be hitting at least 11-12k off of that. We get our 2 checks in, and we evo into literally any of these level 6s, and then we can use Davis and Ken to unsuspend, and then you get at least another 2 checks because you inherit this alliance inheritable. Perhaps if you have the Cherubimon Ace that you evo into without passing turn, you get to play another level 4, and then you could do some, like, double alliance shenanigans and get in for the rest of their security. And if you manage to keep turn by evoing and you get the extra swing, that means you can end the turn by playing something like Boltboutamon, wipe their board, and just leave them totally defenseless and unable to handle what you have going on. So that is pretty fantastic if you ask me. And then the last tamer we're going to run is the Sora and Kari from ST20. Just guarantees the 4-color pair with Tai, Kamiya, and Sora. So we're going to have all 4 colors when we have 2 of these tamers in play, and then it's going to cost reduce and it's going to give us a memory. So the memory is kind of nice. This 4-tamer pair giving us memory is kind of important. But again, if you don't feel good about the memory situation with these tamers, go ahead and run the Mimi in this slot, the one that hatches you an egg when you have a level 5 or higher green Digimon in play. So that is what we have for this adventure control profile. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. How do you think this compares to the adventure aggro deck profile that we did on Wednesday? That's going to be it, though. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.
Thank you to our channel members for supporting this channel. It's people like Langlong, Big Z11, Coffee Deus, and DigiDane who make videos like this possible.